Hi, everyone, and welcome to tonight's reflection during these days of COVID-19. We hear this evening that more stringent restrictions are being implemented for our safety, and while they come with an inconvenience, we are grateful for the action that helps protect life and so not burden our hospitals, medical professionals, and healthcare providers more than can be bared. Bared? Yeah. Just one announcement for tomorrow. I'll post the prayer time link later this evening, and that's for prayer time tomorrow at 8 p.m. It'd be good to have a group of people engaged in that to bring our concerns, our petitions, our requests to God. I am thankful for the technology we have at our disposal. I mentioned it on Sunday in the service, but I mention it again today because I was able to engage in a prayer time with colleagues, participate in a webinar, have a few really useful phone calls, and have a madcap video conference call with my family who are spread across these islands. I am thankful for the technology at our disposal. And so much of it now is in our hands. It's not like it used to be in big cumbersome units like the first computers that were so big that they filled a room, or the first mobile phones that I believe used to be carried in briefcases to hold the battery and were often as large as bricks. Now we have smartphones. Did you know that smartphones have over 100,000 times more processing power than the computer that took Apollo 11 to the moon? Also, over 1 million times more memory and over 7 million times more storage. That's what we have in our pockets. That's what we have in our hands. Over the last weeks, we have been very keen to learn what has been on our hands with regard to infections or bacteria and soap, water, and sanitizer on the positive side. But what about what is in your hand? Money. Maybe, but it's becoming a big no-no for infection control reasons. Credit cards then. Maybe again, but even those are becoming less often the means for payment as NFC payments through our phones are becoming more and more commonplace. And that brings me back to where this kind of began. What is in my hands? So often for me, the answer is my mobile phone. The thing that helped me with so much of what I did today, the thing that has helped me keep contact and post these reflections since last Monday. Matthew 15 records the lesser known feeding of the 4,000. A great crowd has gathered and Jesus has done amazing and miraculous things among them. Then in verse 32 he calls the disciples to him and says, I have compassion for these people. They have already been with me 3 days and have nothing to eat. I do not want to send them away hungry, or they may collapse on the way. In other words, hey guys, I'm concerned for these people, so I have an idea. Let's feed them. The disciples' response is understandable. Verse 33, where could we get enough bread in this remote place to feed such a crowd? In other words, we don't have enough. There isn't the resources. We don't have the means. Jesus responds with a question that on the face of it seems simple or maybe even silly. How many loaves do you have? They reply, 7, and a few small fish. Jesus' question, however, changes the conversation by turning their focus to what they have rather than what they don't have. Jesus asks, how many loaves do you have? Or maybe we could put it like this. What is in your hand? The challenge was huge, but Jesus didn't give the disciples a buy or a get out of jail free card. Rather, he asked them what they had. Rather than let them focus on what they didn't have, he turned their minds to what they did have. We face a big challenge. And currently we don't have church as we would normally know it. We don't have work for many of us as it would normally be. We don't have the same freedoms that we are used to having. School is out and it's March. Things are not the same. We don't have what we are used to. We don't have the same confidence about our future or our health. But like Jesus asked the disciples, let's change the question. What do we have? What is in our hands? What is it that we have and can bring to Jesus and ask him to bless it and make it multiply so that it blesses or feeds many who are in need, who lack hope, who are frustrated, who are feeling cooped up, who are fearful, who are sick, who even have COVID-19? What is in our hands? What have we got that we can offer to God so that he can bless others through what we bring and bless us too? A phone call, a text message, a shared video or song, a letter writing set and some stamps, a journal for poetry or songwriting or drawing. The songs and poems and pictures of these days will resonate in history. Not all of them, of course, but many will, as they capture not just the facts but the feelings of this time too. What is in your hand? What can you offer to God so that he can bless the world today? Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, you have given us so much. Indeed, every good and perfect gift is from you. And now that some of those things we have so often taken for granted and enjoyed have been taken away from us for a while, help us to focus on what we still have. For you are able to do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine. And so if you were able to feed 5,000 plus and 4,000 plus with just a few loaves of bread and some fish, Lord, then use what is in our hands to bless many today. Use what we have to the glory of your name. Amen.